I made a community post and gathered some of the best responses, so today we are going over 10 of the top build hacks in Bloxburg. If you want to be in future videos, subscribe and turn notifications on to see when I post. I'm trying to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, so I would really appreciate your support. Starting off the list, number 1 is layered flooring. Place down a floor and color it to whatever you want. Make the material planks long. Now use the clone tool to select the floor and place another floor on top of it. If you're using manual placement, make sure to select the points in the same order. As you can see, the planks will darken and gain a little bit of texture. You can do this as many times as you want, and you can also make one of the floors the log material to add even more detail. Number 2 is custom windows. Place a basic opening and scale it to whatever size you want your window to be. Then place a basic shape in the opening. Use the scale tool and transform tool to create a window frame. Once you have made your bottom frame, clone it and transform the new shape to the top of the window. To build frames on the side, clone an original frame and scale the long side down. Then scale the height up so that it touches the top frame. And finally, use the transform tool to move it to the side of your window. Clone the frame and transform it to the other side as well. Now you have your frame. Get a transparent cube and place it on the bottom frame. Scale it to the size of the window and you now have glass. The best part about custom windows is that they are custom. You can make them however you want. You could add on to the frame using basic shapes or structurals, which means your window could look like this, or this, or this. It's completely up to you. Number 3 is using roofs for landscaping. Go to the basement floor. Choose any style of roof that you want. I'm using the mansard roof. Now use manual placement and shape the roof to whatever you want. And finally, make the colored camo and use the lush grass material. You now have a hill. You can add on to it by making more roofs with varying heights and shapes. Number 4 is floor decals. Place a transparent cube and scale it to be as small as possible. Now put a square decal on the cube. Use the transform tool to rotate it 90 degrees. You can also use the small grid to bring it closer to the floor. Now scale the decal to whatever size you want. And that's a floor decal. You could put a rug decal or a dirt decal or my face from the TikTok build hack video if you want. Number 5 is an elevated porch. Get a flat roof out and go to the basement floor. Using manual placement, outline wherever you want to put your porch. Before you place it, use the small grid and scale it up slightly. Color your porch to whatever you want. Now place 2 basic shapes to make the steps up to the porch. And to finish it off, you can place your door and a fence. Really quickly, I want to mention that my TikTok username is RiOT. There's an account pretending to be me and he's posting all of my videos. So if you see that, report the account for impersonation and mention me in the comments. Thank you. Back to the video. Number 6 is using strings as wires or cables. As you can see, we have a lamp that's not connected to the wall. To fix that, you can place an electrical outlet on the wall and use an ordinary string as the cord. Change your placement to custom, then connect the lamp to the wall. You can also do this for many other items such as computers, toasters, TVs, or anything that uses electricity. Number 7 is floating counters. Place a basic shape and scale it to the width and depth that you want your counters to be. Next, you will use the transform tool and the small grid to bring the counter up. And that's it. Easy floating counter. Number 8 is custom cars. Place a basic shape, then cover it with a vehicle of your choice. Get underneath the car by going into the basement and click on the cube with the transform tool. Bring it up so it's sticking out of the roof. Now scale it to about this size. Place 2 shapes on top and make them half the size of the original. If you have a gap in the middle, you can fill that in with another cube. Now use the small grid to make the outer cubes slightly smaller than the base. And finally, color the outer cubes to red and blue. If you want to add a bit of detail, you can put a semi-transparent cube over the lights. Color the transparent cube black so the lights look like they are turned off. And there you go. You now have a custom police car. You could also use this idea to make other custom cars such as taxis. Number 9 is a working iPad. Place a counter, basic shape, and laptop. Scale the basic shape to be short and slightly smaller than the laptop's base. Put the laptop on the shape, then put both objects on the counter. Use the transform tool to bring it down so the keyboard is no longer showing. And that's it. If you want, you could add a basic shape to the back to give the iPad a stand. As you can see, there's no keyboard and I can use it. And finally, number 10 is custom roofs. For this example, I'm going to be making a vaulted ceiling. Place a cube in the middle of your room and scale it up. Put a carpet on top of it, then delete the cube. Now place a new cube and scale it to the size of the room. Bring it up and rotate it to make one half of the roof. Clone it using the clone tool and transform the new cube to the other side. You'll have to do a lot of micro adjustments to make both sides even, unless you're just that accurate. Once you are finished, do the carpet thing again on the side of the wall. Place a horizontal wedge and make it half of the wall's length. Duplicate it so that you have a wedge on both sides. Now transform the wedges to fit on the wall and use the scale tool to make them the correct size. And now you have a vaulted ceiling. If you want, you could use shapes to make beams going across the ceiling. This was a really simple example. If you would like to see how to make custom roofs in more detail, Capto has a good video on it. The link to that will be in the description. If you watch it, tell him I said hi. And that is 10 of the top build hacks in Bloxburg. If you would like to see a part 2, leave it in the comments. Once again, I'm trying to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, so I would really appreciate your support. But that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed and make sure to stick around for future videos.